Now, one thing I did not mention, if you notice over by the mixer, is what I'm using for an output. I'm actually using what is called an RCA to 3.5 millimeter output cable. And what that does is it turns the typical RCA jacks, which is the red and white audio, into this. And this is what you would typically put into the line in or the mic jack on your computer. Now, most laptops don't have a line input. So what I'm actually using is on this laptop that I do all my broadcasting on. As you can see, and I will show you, I'm actually right here. That is the mic jack for this laptop. And this is the cord that's coming from the mixer that you saw earlier and going into the mic jack, bringing all the audio that is being mixed from the several different sources through the mixer to this computer. Now, what I'm going to show you is actually the different programs that I use. I use several different programs, most of which are just to let me be able to switch sources on the fly. If I need to take a break and go, use the restroom, so to speak, I can actually go through and use a program called VH Multicam Studio to switch the camera source temporarily to let people know, hey, I'll be right back. The game will start up again. So I'm going to switch over to a desktop capture source here, and I'll show you what I do from there. So here we are back at my desk, and as you can see, I'm actually using the webcam built into the main computer that I broadcast with. And I'm currently actually recording with Flash Media Encoder 2.5 from a program called VH Multicamera Studio. And what that allows you to do, it actually allows you to go through and insert several different video sources. Sometimes not all at once. You can turn from one to the other using buttons, and you can also go through and compound them in the same video window like so. Of course, you can see is actually a nice picture-in-picture here. It's a VH screen cap of my desktop being sent to VH Multicam Studio, and also a picture-in-picture up in the top window here of the webcam itself. And down here are these buttons. I don't think you can see the mouse, but if you look down below the main video window, you actually see the several different buttons, of which one of them is blue right now, which is basically set for my screen cap. I can actually go through and change that as well, and you will see I can switch over to my consoles with one of the buttons. I can switch, of course, back to just the webcam, which you see here. I can blank everything out if I choose to, and I can show things like the be right back thing, which I actually usually go through and show a little video to kind of entertain people while I'm gone. So going back to the screen cap, and just for the remainder of this video, we're going to stay on this window. But this is what I use. It acts as something similar to Webcam Max or Minicam, but I honestly feel it has a lot more potential. It doesn't allow for the text overlays and the nice little cute little things that you can do with programs like Webcam Max, and because those are really designed for just webcams. This is a actual camera studio. It's more like a studio type of production thing. Has nice fade-ins between the different sources. Although the only downfall that I found out about it right now is that when it comes to showing pictures, it only allows for bitmap files. You can't use any JPEGs or PNG files, which I prefer to use PNG files because I feel they have a much richer density to them when it comes to the actual picture itself. So it only allows for bitmaps, so that kind of takes away any different things that you want to do. But honestly, when it comes down to it, you really don't need it. So let's go ahead and pull up Flash Media Encoder 3.1 here. And as you can see, I'm on Windows 7. But nonetheless, it is pretty much this very similar to Flash Media Encoder 2.5. And you can see that what I am actually recording right now is actually what's being output. And now you can hear the Xbox sound. But you can have your settings are going to be set according to your own upload. I have a very strong upload speed of 9 megabytes per second, so I can actually broadcast it pretty much anything I want to. The only limitations I have are the actual computer itself. It's a dual core instead of a quad core. If I had a quad core, I could probably go up to high definition resolutions. I could probably do a lot more capturing of PC games that I play, but currently I'm not doing that. But my current settings, of course, my device is set to VH multicam. My 4-pad, I stay in VP6, and that's mainly because if you have a higher processing computer, stay in VP6 because it honestly helps a lot better than going to H.264. H.264 is for computers that don't have a lot of upload speed, but do have a lot of processing. So if you had a low upload speed but a strong computer, yeah, use H.264 or H.264. But if you have a very decent upload speed, stay with the VP6. It really is the better solution. I usually stick at a video frame rate of around 30. And I'm actually going to maximize this the rest of the way so that you guys can see it a little bit better. And of course you see my video input size is set to 720 by 480. That currently is the maximum ratio that the Dazzle device that I have allows. I actually go through, though, with VH Multicam. VH Multicam is outputting at 720 by 405, so that I can get the proper ratio for widescreen. And as you can see, I'm actually going through and cropping that extra space out of that first input window into the output window. So the output window looks nice and seamless. Plus, a major problem with the Dazzle, for some reason, when you're outputting composite video from your Xbox 360, you get this nice little garbled lines on the top of the video. So you want to make sure you crop that out if you're playing an Xbox 360. But here I have my audio device that is the external microphone jack, which, of course, as I explained to you earlier, is all that audio that's being routed into the mixer coming back to the broadcasting computer. And this is honestly really all it takes is you go through and do speed tests, find out what your computer can handle on the your computer can actually handle the resolution that you're trying to broadcast at, and you're pretty much set to go. So it's really not all that hard. It really just comes down to what types of programs you want to use, what types of different equipment you would like to buy. If you're on the lower end, I would say a Dazzle is still a definite choice. It's only about $40 to $50. You can buy it in-store at Best Buy and several other sources for $50. You can actually get it on Amazon.com for much cheaper, but then again, you also have to pay for shipping. So in the long run, you're still going to end up paying about that same price. But so I hope you guys can get more of a grasp on what I do here. I'm actually going to switch over back to the main camera really fast. So there you have it. There's the main setup that I use for a lot of my broadcasting. And a lot of people have asked why I go through so much trouble and use so many different computers to do what I'm doing. If I had a quad-core computer, yes, I would probably stick everything onto one computer and allow that one computer to do all the work. But for the time being, I don't have that availability. So by splitting the load of the different needs that I have from my broadcast into several different computers, saying the broadcasting, the Skype, and the chat, I'm able to basically allow myself to broadcast at a much higher quality than I would be if I was doing all these things on the same computer. That way, basically, the processor on the computer is not taking the full load of all this work. It's split among several different computers, and plus, like I said, kind of hard to see chat when the broadcasting computer is behind you. So that was the main reason why I got that other computer. So I hope you were able to somewhat understand things. There's a lot of tutorials if you go to the Justin.tv community forums, which you can find at community.justin.tv/forums. And I can give you all kinds of help there. I'm actually there on a regular basis. Or if I'm live, stop in by my channel and give me some questions. I'm actually going to go through and put this video on a bot command so that it can actually be accessed pretty easily through the channel for those of you that are first-time visitors and want to know how I'm doing what I'm doing. So like I said, I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope it explains some things. If it didn't, you can always email me at rrmajishine, it's MAJISHINE @gmail.com with any questions that you have. And of course, always stop by our website at rebelrousernetwork.com. And we also have podcasts too. Did I remember that? Yeah. But yeah, until next time, folks.